Are you pumped, Johnny?
I am pumped.
Yeah,
Super
man.
pumped. Even more so after that incredible intro. Good job, man.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
Good.
On the Fat Samurai Guys channel. What is going on? It's your boy Preston hanging out for the first time. Yes, what an honor to have Johnny, the fanatical one. That's right.
Pleasure is mine.
Mr.
A long
Dragon.
time viewer, first time caller, kind of virtual caller, video caller. It makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you watching and being a fan of the channel. I'm also a fan of yours. And we're gonna get into I have a lot of jealousy, sir. All right, I got a lot of jealousy with you. I got some stuff to nitpick, with you. I'm calling you out, Johnny. I'm calling you out. No, we'll get to it. We'll have some fun here. But yeah, what's going on, everybody watching right now? We are crossing the streams, son. That's why we're doing a little double screen sharing, stream watching on both channels right now. So shout out to all the Fanatical Dragon viewers that are watching this video.
There's very much a test for that. I didn't know that was even a thing that we could do. So I don't know how many of my side are watching, but hopefully a few will jump in.
Yeah, and it's all good. They can watch it later because it's on the channel. What's going on? Certified Badass channel member Heather in the house. What's going on? Say, hey, Fat Samurai Guy. Thank you again for the movies. Well, thank you for being an awesome member and for watching. Yeah, but we're going to get into it. We got two big ones today. All I got to say is action cinema and martial arts cinema is back in the mainstream eye, in my opinion. In the mainstream eye, these genres are back. And we have two big ones to talk about today. I don't know what Johnny thought of them. We're going to get into it. We may agree to disagree. He might be like, this is the worst piece of shit I've ever seen in your life. Never invite me back, Preston. But we're going to have some fun. Oh, we got Adam from the UK, son. That's right. Cool. What's going on, Adam? Oh, we got Kevin, also from the UK, representing. What is going down? Oh, yeah. But yeah, man, we watched both of our channels back and forth. And I was like, I got to subscribe to the Fanatical one here. And this is what I was talking about, where I got a little bit of the jealousy here. What? Mark Dacascos? What? You got Mark Dacascos on your show?
First interview I did. Started high.
Yes. And now you're with me, so you're going downhill now. It's over.
No. You have to get Mark, man.
I would love to get Mark. Fingers crossed I'll get Mark in the future. But yeah, man, this was a great interview. So you guys, everybody watching right now, you got to subscribe to the Fanatical Dragon. I put his link to his channel on Instagram in the description box below. He's on the rise, but I'm also jealous because once in a while, Samurai Guy, either it's extremely rare I treat myself nowadays, or if I get like review copies. But once in a while, boom, I get to represent some stuff, right? The Tiger Cage trilogy. We got the In Line of Duty 1 through 4 box set. So once in a while, recently, it's rare Samurai Guy will treat himself, or I'll get a free Blu-ray review copy, which is always nice. But however, every time I'm watching your channel, son, I'm just like, where is he getting all these awesome copies of Blu-rays and DVDs and these exclusive? You guys got to go to his channel and subscribe, you guys. Everybody watching, you got to go, because you're going to be drooling, okay? You're going to be like, oh, my God. A Bittersweet Life is on Blu-ray released over. He has this over. Oh my God! Like, how do you get these exclusives?
Most of them I just have to buy. I don't really get sent that many screeners.
Yeah,
I get advanced early copies for some Arrow stuff. Kind of going back to when that first Shawscope box set came out, I was all over basically doing that disc by disc, and so since then they've kind of like hooked me up a couple of times. But everything else, the weird kind of Hong Kong versions from Manta Lab and all those premiums, that's hard work, son. That's hard work. And basically I sell a lot of stuff to kind of afford to buy stuff. So
there you go.
I keep turning it around. I don't have what you kind of see behind me, not today, because this is the new house, but for anyone who's seen my channel before, the shelves that I used to have, that's a constantly changing landscape. I sell quite a bit because it's an expensive hobby, man. It mounts.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. I watch your channel because I live through you, Johnny. I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. I gotta check. He breaks it down too, guys. If you guys want to know the special features of these Blu-ray releases and exclusives to movies, I had no idea even existed. So check the link below and subscribe to the old Fanatical one here. Oh, we got Dan in the house. What is going down, Dan? Kevin says, Brotherhood of the Wolf was fun. Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is a classic. Well,
And
Adam,
Luke's still good in 4K.
we're going. Oh, that's good to know. Thank you for telling me that. But yeah, Adam, we're going to review Blind Swordsman, the movie, right now. We're going to
Hell
get
yeah.
to it, and there will be spoilers. And speaking
Mild spoilers.
no, we're going
we'll
all,
be
going
friendly.
all in. No, fuck it. We're going. It's in the thumbnail. Live spoiler review. We're doing it all. But Jet Tiger says he's going to watch Mission Impossible when it comes out. That's right. This,
Yeah.
I, in my opinion, it's debatable, but I feel the action genre and the martial arts genre are finally getting more eyes viewed on it in terms of, especially casuals are more excited about action cinema and martial arts movies than they've been in a while. So we got to celebrate that. Oh, speaking of martial arts and action, we got martial artist, stuntman, actor Javon Wallace, Power Ranger. That's right, he's done it all. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, man, good to see you. All right, we're gonna get into this, and I can't wait to talk about Extraction 2, and I can't wait to tell you my result, what I think of it, and my rating of it. And I can't wait to tell you what I'm gonna say right after the rating. But we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. But yeah, first off, Extraction 2, Electric Boogaloo. So before we get into that, what was your honest thoughts of the first Extraction, Johnny?
Good at the time, but there's a weird thing that happens with some Netflix movies, almost like a Netflix amnesia, netnesia maybe, where at the time you kind of watch them, really enjoy them, but then a week later it's like, what happened in that movie? They become quite forgettable, weirdly, even though they're really well made.
Spoilers to what I'm going to say a little bit later. That's what I was talking about a couple of minutes ago.
It's strange, man. I can't, because maybe I'm just getting old and maybe my memory is going. It could be that.
I think I got you beat there, buddy.
Well, not by much, brother. But I think it's really weird. So the first one I kind of enjoyed. I could not tell you a single beat from that movie now a couple of years later.
Very simplistic plot. It's an escort mission movie, but it was a big surprise for me for that year because we were not, especially with Thor in it, we were not expecting that kind of quality of action. We were like, whoa. So it was a pleasant surprise when it came out for me, Extraction.
Yeah.
But I bought it on Blu-ray from a third party because Netflix doesn't sell their content,
Sadly
unfortunately.
not. I feel they're missing a trick there.
And you want to hear something funny? As much as I loved Extraction and just was blown away by and just pleasantly surprised by the action, I still have not watched the Blu-ray that I bought. I wanted to try to watch it to get ready for this review, but I didn't have time. I barely had time enough to watch Extraction 2. But still, it's a kick-ass action film. Sam is on a roll when it comes to the camera work, the editing, and the action. He is phenomenal at it. But let's let everybody know watching who is in this movie. Johnny, and what is the plot synopsis for Extraction 2?
It's Thor himself. It's Chris Hemsworth, returning again from the first one, and I think written by the Russos from many Marvel movies fame. And so I don't think they directed, but they wrote, as Samurai said, directed by Sam Hargrave, a former stuntman turned director, and the next in a line of a good run of stuntmen turned directors, and maybe that's why we're getting such good action, you can say. But the synopsis, the tiny synopsis on IMDb, is literally saying, after barely surviving his grievous wounds from his mission in Dhaka, Bangladesh, Tyler Rake is back and his team is ready to take on their next mission. That doesn't tell you much. Basically, I think this time round, it's a personal connection. His ex-wife, her sister, has married a pretty shady kind of mobster dude who is keeping the ex-wife's sister and her kids in prison inexplicably to keep them safe. And it's up to our hero Tyler to go into prison, bust them out, and save the day.
That's it. Some very simplistic, just like the first film.
Yeah.
But
it's an extraction.
It's an extraction. Yes. But yeah, right in the beginning, definitely they go into kind of the quick flashbacks of what happened in the finale of the first film.
Yeah.
And they show him kind of injured. For a second there, it looks like he may or may not be paralyzed.
Yeah, and then he learned to walk again.
Yes. And his team here, which I really enjoyed, the little brother-sister team we got going here.
They were both in the first one, right? I remember her from the first one, but he was in the first one too, I think
so. Yeah. I believe so. Because as soon as he saw him in the hospital, he brought him that shirt.
Yes.
And I think they talked about that in the first film.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
really
enjoyed his
shifty
team,
stuff.
especially her. She was really good. I'll get to her in a little bit here.
That would
But
be Golshifteh Farahani, I believe,
okay, yes, yeah.
is the
That's why I
actress
have
playing her.
Johnny's going to
Um,
do all the difficult names. That's why.
I'm gonna try.
It's the real reason I asked him to be here today.
If I mess them up, blame my Scottish accent.
We got Bing in the house. What's going on, Bing? Yes,
Hey,
yes,
hey,
yes.
dude.
But yeah, they try to, for the great work he did in the first film,
Mm-hmm.
they try to kind of set him up to where, he could live in peace,
Mm-hmm.
possibly, hopefully, wink, wink, start over. Idris Elba shows up. He's like, look, man,
Yeah.
we got more work for you to do. Stop moping. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Let's go. And then
Mm-hmm.
right after that, Hearts on Fire started playing. You know what I'm saying? Rocky 4, that's right. Thor ran to the top of the mountain and yelled, Loki, But I was hearing that music, man. And he was pulling himself up on the ropes and running in the snow. I was like, oh, it's Hearts on Fire. That's what we got going on there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he gets back in shape. He's good to go. And then our movie begins.
Mm.
Now, what I was not expecting. Oh yes, one shot. Yeah, that was very well done. Scott
Yeah.
Adkins' vehicle. I really enjoyed that one. But I can't wait for the next one too. Yeah, they're doing another one.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Or
but
does he mean the one single shots in this? Because there was a bunch of long, apparently
oh,
single
okay.
takes.
Yes,
Maybe
we're going
it
to
could
get
be
to
more.
that. We're going to get to that right now. So somebody mentioned to me about the one take, one shot action set piece, but
Mm.
I had no idea that it was going to be at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Like it was like really the action opener. So this like really blew my mind. This opening here. So after he goes into prison, rescues the girl and her family, they end up
Mm-hmm.
killing the husband. The husband's death was great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, just
Yeah,
ripping
that
the
was pretty good.
fingers,
Yeah,
fuck
that was
that
nasty.
dude up, man. That was great. I was like, yeah. However, right when the action sequence started, I was getting a little bit annoyed with the family. Were you getting annoyed?
Mm. The son, but I think that was kind of his. He was meant to, we were meant to have that reaction, I think you were meant to kind of more empathize and feel for the wee girl. Was pretty cool, and she was kind of giving wee winks and stuff as the film went on. But I
Yeah.
think
Thank
we were
God. Yeah,
we were
thank
kind of
God the
meant
little
to feel that
girl.
way about that boy because
Yeah.
he was a
But
bit.
but yeah, thank God the little girl became cooler later, and her
Mm-hmm.
character was cooler. She understood, this
Yeah.
guy's here to protect us. But at first, I'm like, she's dropping the teddy bear, she's crying, she's making noise, and then the son's like looking at, being difficult, and then
Yeah.
even the mother, like he's sacrificing himself to protect the family, and even the mother's like, "You're scaring my kids." What do you? Okay, all right, don't make me root for the death of the family. Okay, movie. Okay, movie. What are you doing? But luckily that was very few and far between in terms of
Do you think there was a
let's
sour grapes element because that was her sister's wayward ex-husband? So was there a bit of like that going on behind the scenes?
could
Maybe a little bit of an attitude because of that? Like, oh God, of all the people to come and save us, it's that asshole that
it could
messed around
be.
my sister.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, luckily though, what I did like about the mother was that she was actually helping him fight back.
Yeah.
There were a few times where he did have to save her, but she was actually like trying to get dudes off of him. I was like, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Don't be just standing there screaming and hollering and help. Like,
Yeah.
fuck it. Your family's trying to escape danger. We got to fight. Let's
Mm-hmm.
go. So that
And
was nice to see. But
and
this,
that prison escape sequence was maybe kind of one of the highlights for me. I mean, setting him on fire, punching dudes when he's on fire. That was all pretty cool.
yes, I agree with Javon here. Yes, especially later. See, later the mother and the daughter were fine. They were fine later, their characters. But yeah, the son, I know that you pull it. Yeah, Johnny, you're right. That was supposed to be his character. He was supposed to be annoying and difficult and wanting to not dishonor his dad and stuff like that. But still, it was just like, oh my God, die. But luckily that didn't last too long. But yeah, I agree with Javon there. But this to me, this opening was really the climax. Like this was the best action set piece throughout the entire movie. Like this, there's some great stuff later, which we'll get to. But this opening is like, was it 20, 21 minutes? It was something like that.
Yeah.
It was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
The camera work, the editing, and of course you could be nitpicky and you could be like, oh, well, they probably edited right there, because us as filmmakers and viewers, we like to have fun like that sometimes. We're like, oh, that's probably where they did the edit. It's fine. Okay, it's fine if there's edits in this one take shot, but the important thing is when it's edited together so well and it's a flawless transition, it's impressive. It's still impressive, and you know it took like ridiculous amount of hours to put together, days, weeks. You know, it was ridiculously hard to do this opening.
But it
So
felt most practical. I think of all like some of the later stuff, maybe a little bit CG reliant in places, but that most of that first sequence was just real human beings doing real human shit, and it was
that's
good.
right. That's right. And the camera work, man, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like that one shot when they get out and get in the car, and as soon as the car starts going, the camera that's on the ground goes up and follows, and then it lands on the balcony, and then it follows the people through the building this way.
Yeah.
It's insane because you could say, well, it's probably a drone. Well, that's a pretty impressive drone.
No, I don't think so. I think there was some more trickery going on that full-size camera, I think.
Trickery. That's right. That's right. Jet said it felt like 30 minutes. It might be 30 minutes. You never know. You never know. Oh, Kevin. But yeah, this just absolutely phenomenal. And like Johnny said, real dudes, man, you know, badasses, martial artists, stuntmen, really putting their bodies on the line here. And then it just keeps going. I was like, oh my God, we're still going. And you have the chase sequence here, and then it ends up on the train. And I was like, this is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, this is insane. The camera work, the transitions, the combat, the gunplay. Oh, let's just for fun, let's just throw in, you know, a little mini boss, you know, mini gun on top of the train. I mean, let's be honest, Johnny. When was the last time you saw a guy standing on top of a moving train shooting a helicopter with a minigun?
It's been a while. It's been a minute.
I can't really think as of right now.
It's always good fun seeing a minigun back in things. It's kind of like if you're playing a drinking game, take a shot if you see a minigame and a minigun in a film.
There you go, for sure. Kevin says the prison sequences was just another example of good action, good fights done right. Yes. We agree with that. But you know, our villains here, or the brother of the villain that got killed, which is the husband. He was all business, man. So he's like, oh, revenge. Let's go.
Makes me think we chose the wrong line of work, Samurai, because he's a farmer who inexplicably had access to a small army. Like, how much money are farmers making these days? Because like the resources that dude had at his disposal seemed okay. I'll go with it. I'll suspend disbelief.
Yeah,
it's fine. But unclear as to kind of what type of gangster he really was. Really, it seemed to be more of a farmer than anything else.
Yeah, that's it. We're going to be farmers now. We've announced it here. That's it. Oh man, but yeah, he's business, and you know they have these little flashbacks of him and his brother, kind of growing up in hard times, growing up basically in hell. You know, being forced to be in this group and kind of carry on tradition, which is which the son later tries to do, but ends up becoming extremely annoying. But it is what it is. But yeah, our escort mission movie number 2 continues to kick off, and just some really exciting, just absolutely exciting sequences, man. Like just jaw-dropping stuff at the beginning. But back to Javon's favorite character in the film. I'm going to get you his autograph, Javon. I'm going to get you his autograph. Oh man. But I knew he was going to be frustrating. I was just like, I knew it. But the chase continues. Really enjoyed the building shootout. I mean, we did have some CGI stuff here and there, but again, really great camera work, following the action, showing the stunt work, especially up here. Just crazy stunt work, just phenomenal stuff, man. Just really, really phenomenal stuff. But I have some nitpicks.
Okay.
And my nitpicks, because we do different types of for Movie Dojo, we'll at the end we will rate the movie, and then we will rate the action separately.
Okay,
because sometimes movies are average, but the action is stellar, right?
Yeah.
So the movie has kind of lost some points here a little bit because you bring in Daniel Bernhardt.
Yeah.
What a waste.
Yeah.
That was so disappointing, man. Yeah. Now, congratulations to Daniel Bernhardt, which I would love to interview in the future as well.
Same. I was going to ask you if you'd had him on.
No, not yet. I'm working on it. But yeah, I'm happy for his, congratulations to him. I'm happy for his success for even being in this project, represent action cinema, right?
Yeah.
Good action cinema. But I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed because when Daniel Bernhardt shows up, this is like around the building action shootout sequence. Down in the parking lot, when Daniel shows up, I was like, "Oh shit, it's about to go down." And him and Chris Hemsworth, they have that moment where they're shooting back at each other, running, and I'm like, "Oh, let's go, man, let's go." And then I was for a second, the guy that was with Daniel Bernhardt's character died. He got
And you thought it was him,
but you didn't. Yeah, right. But then
same
he
for
comes
a
back.
second. Yeah.
He comes back later in the movie, and I'm like, "Oh, we have round two. They're going to be the finale throwdown fight between those two," and he just gets shot, and that's it. I was so disappointed. I think, I mean, I've said this before. It's frustrating when movies kind of blow their wad in the beginning. I've said that about Villainous. I thought the opening action sequence was the best part of the movie, but the motorcycle stuff was cool here and there. But I kind of got tired of that type of style throughout the whole movie. And I thought the beginning of Villainous was the best part of that film. Sometimes that could make or break your movie.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you blow your wad right in the beginning, and then it's just kind of like your expectations are through the roof now.
A little bit. And in the Villainess's case, it kind of became something a bit different. It sort of morphed into more K-drama as you got like halfway through towards the end. It was almost like action start, drama middle, a little bit of action end.
I love the story of Villainous.
Same. Yeah.
But the style of action, that camera work,
that kind of first person kind of through the eyes.
I liked it at first, especially with the motorcycle fight. And I liked that. Yeah. But when it kept going to just that over and over again throughout the entire movie, even all the way to the end, I thought variety was lost. I was like, you could mix it up a little bit with different camera work, But that, again, that's me nitpicking. But I mean, at the end, he goes to rescue the son because the son gets kidnapped because he's annoying. So he gets kidnapped, and so at the end, it was kind of fucking dope, man. Like, our lead here shows up with a grenade launcher, starts blowing people up, and then he runs into Daniel Bernhardt, and then they just look at each other and shoot each other, and that's it. And then he goes in, and he has a average, solid fight. The fight, I mean, I know his character's injured; he's not at his best. There's some really great hard hits and some stunts with the one-on-one fight with the brother at the end of the movie, but I think all us fans would rather have seen him throw down with Daniel Bernhardt. I think we would.
Ideally, yeah. To be honest, I would have loved Daniel Bernhardt to be the big bad, for him to be the brother.
Yes,
because he's easily good enough of an actor to do it, and his action credentials are through the roof at this point. At the moment, he's only really getting that kind of lead henchman, talking henchman parts, which is a total crime. It's another Scott Adkins situation all over again. It's like, give this dude the starring roles,
And he was looking like Samurai Guy in the movie. He was looking badass.
Yeah, man, I was going to say.
He had that hawk. I was like, let's go. And he just showed up. He's like, hey, Chris, how you doing? Hey, Daniel, boom, boom, he's dead. I was like, oh, man, that was so disappointing. Hey, what's up going on, Richard? How you doing, brother? But back to the team here. Let me go. Let me see what happened here. I had the photo
of the brother and sister.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the brother did not make it.
No, sadly, that is Adam Bessa, I think, playing Yaz, and he was great. He was kind of a little bit of comic relief, but not too much.
Yeah.
And when he actually got to do the action stuff, he didn't have as much to do as the sister. Right. But what he did do was still pretty cool. Yeah. I thought kind of like the two of them worked pretty well as a little kind of wee tactical unit.
I enjoyed them. And they were with Chris throughout the entire film.
Yeah.
I think in the first one, again, it's been so long since I've seen it, they kind of helped him mostly in the finale on the bridge.
I think so.
Here and there, I think they helped him, but he was kind of by himself with the little kid that he was protecting in that movie.
Yeah.
But the team pretty much since the prison break has been with him throughout the entire film. And her character, oh man, I loved the way her character fought in this movie. Because there was a guy who looked like PhatSamuraiGuy in this movie, not Daniel Bernhardt. There was this huge, gigantic dude with the gun. I mean, he's like some arm wrestling champ.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like me a little bit, except bigger. And they had their fight back and forth, but she wasn't just standing there. just throwing haymakers at him. She
No,
fought
no.
really smart, and I
Yeah.
love that. She
A
went
lot
for
of going for that femoral artery with a knife. And
yeah, she went for like weaknesses, especially when she was fighting multiple dudes on the train.
yeah.
She was like, cutting arteries, and like
Yeah.
she was fighting like smart. And I love that about her character. She was badass.
Yeah, she's
She
good.
was really good.
And spoiler, there will be an Extraction 3, and she will be back.
Yes. I enjoyed her a lot in this movie. Perry Fan in the house. What's
How we
going
doing?
on?
That's
What's
another one of my
happening?
friends.
Yeah. Welcome everybody watching. We're having a blast talking about this movie. Yeah, just great. Everything action wise, despite the finale being a little weak, and despite getting blue balls with Daniel Bernhardt, which doesn't sound right, but hey, that's how Samurai Guy talks. You have to deal with it. Overall, I still consider one of the best action movies of the year. There's stuff
and
better
very
than
high
it.
for Netflix's standards as well.
Yes. John Wick Chapter 4, I loved. It's debatable. Some people hate it, and that's fine. That's if you guys hate it, didn't like it, that's perfectly fine. We can agree to disagree and still be friends. But John Wick Chapter 4 did not blow their wad.
Okay.
The opening action sequence in Japan that was almost 30 minutes. Easily could have been a finale in any other action movie. But look what they kept doing. They kept going over the top, and they kept trying to outdo the action sequence before it.
And changing the flavor slightly too.
Yes, changing the flavor, which is why I love John Wick Chapter 4.
Oh God,
but
I'm so all in for John Wick.
I know. Extraction 2 did not do that, but it does not mean it is not still considered, in my opinion, probably one of the best action movies of the year. You got to give it that. Despite having a few annoying characters, despite the razor thin plot, we're there to see Chris Hemsworth, kill some motherfuckers.
Yeah,
that's why we're there.
I'll take an Extraction over any Thor any day. I much prefer him doing this because it gives him something to actually do. And I like a few of the reviews that I saw were kind of dissing on the fact that he's not wisecracking every 5 minutes. I like that, man. I like that it's a bit more of a
Thor Ragnarok. Not Thor Love and Blunder didn't happen. That movie didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about. There wasn't a third. Well, there wasn't a third Thor movie. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, was there anything else in terms of the plot, stuff you liked and didn't like, Johnny, before we rate this and then move on?
I don't think so. I think we've covered all the main beats. I think you said it best in terms of it. If that first act had been the final act and it could have built to that, cool. But I think it peaked pretty high, so it became a little bit of a long set. I was looking at the watch. Dragon was checking the time more than I normally would like to do.
Oh no!
as we got into that third act, but still overall, good. More fun had than not.
Yes, and that's what it's all about: is being entertained and having a good time. So let's go ahead and rate this sumbitch. And how we rate things here on the channel, Johnny. Just a quick reminder: we used to do numbers, we do letters now. So C is average. C is average. So you can go C plus, C minus, B plus, B minus. You can do all that. So for the movie and the action, Johnny, what are you giving Extraction 2?
And I can do a separate rating for movie and separate rating for action.
Yes.
I would give the movie a B minus.
Okay.
I'd give the action a B plus.
All right. Very well done. Very well done. And again, blue balls, Daniel Bernhardt. I enjoyed the Megan Anderson shootout with the brother. That was great. That was almost a Better Tomorrow 2 finale there, where Chow Yun-fat and the other dude were like, because they both came down the steps shooting at each other.
Yeah.
And they both like just that was reminding me of Better Tomorrow 2. Megan Anderson is a MMA fighter, so this is like her. I don't know if she's done any other action movies, but it was cool seeing her in this.
Yeah, she was good.
I
didn't know who that was. That's cool.
Yeah. So great rating for the movie and the action. I'm going to go again, blue balls. I wanted more from the finale. However, that opening 21-minute spectacle, I can't help it. I'm going to be a mark. I can't help it to give the action an A minus, but I'm going to give the movie a B plus.
Okay.
Yeah. I could have it was this close to getting an A or an A plus if we had Daniel Bernhardt showdown in terms of the action. I mean,
Mhm.
you know, if we had a little bit more finale, I'm going to give the MVP award to Chris.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to give
Yeah,
it
we
to
got it.
him. He is really kicking ass for taking names, especially
He
in this movie.
You've maybe heard, but apparently he has a Muay Thai kickboxing background himself.
Really?
Supposedly so, yeah. I
Yeah.
think the director had said that when he'd worked with him before in the Marvel days, that he was always basically pretty
That's
much
right.
kicking his ass because he's a big boy,
Hey,
you know?
hey, if y'all know the fight game, you'll never learn until you get hit.
Mhm.
Then you're like, oh shit, I better defend myself. I better learn how, right? But yeah, I'm gonna get. It's definitely an above average action movie, so I'll give it B plus. But that opening alone, I'm gonna give it an A minus.
Okay.
I tell you this though, the female action character in the movie, she almost got the MVP for me.
Hmm.
She almost got it. Like she was close. If if they gave her more action, I would have given it to her. Do you have an MVP? Do you agree, or do you have a
Uh,
different MVP?
no, I'd probably go with the same. I think kind of we have
All
to.
right.
It's really it's his show. Both these movies are his show, and I think
Yeah.
in as much as they've built a good team around him,
Yeah.
it's kind of one of the better characters that he's found to play in.
Oh
And like
yeah.
I say, much more in this than I am in the
Yeah.
Marvel stuff, which I've kind of checked out of quite a long time ago. You know, just
You're
not
not,
my
you're
not my
not
thing, dude.
alone. You're not alone, Johnny. Yeah.
And I will also have to say, if we because we're doing two movies tonight, and if we had a different movie as our second movie, I think my rating for Extraction 2 might have been slightly higher.
But there's a reason why it is the way it is.
Yeah,
And there's a
yes,
reason
sir.
why my rating for the next movie, it is the way it is.
Okay.
But yeah, we're going to jump into An Eye for an Eye, starring Chuck
Mm.
Norris. We're going to get into that. I enjoy that movie too, by the way. But yeah, I'm going to, again, this is why you're here.
Mm.
So let us know who's in it, the main players, the star, and the director.
Mhm.
And I clicked on the director. I think
Yeah.
this is his only movie.
No,
No?
it is not, my friend. No, he's done a
Oh,
few.
okay.
He's done quite a
Okay.
few, and he's done quite a few with that actor. So the director, we should say,
Oh,
is Yang
okay.
Bin-Jia,
Okay.
and this is, I think, is his third collaboration with the main actor. The guy who's playing the blind swordsman is Mutsai or Mutsi, depending on how you want to hit that surname.
Yeah.
And I think they also made
How do you say it again?
the actor
Yeah.
Moisi or Musi.
Musi. Okay.
I'm by no means an expert. I just stumble my way through. But
Yeah.
I think they'd previously made another film together, one called Fight Against Evil,
Okay.
that same director had made. He's really young. I think he's like 30, 32 years old, the
Oh,
director.
wow. Yeah.
And the actor, former child actor, had been in a Jet Li movie when he was a kid, and I think a
Yes.
couple of things.
Old
Yes, yeah.
school.
Hey,
Yeah.
man, you're super organized.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that is him as a tiny little boy.
I know,
from The
right?
Legend of Shaolin.
Do you consider both of these movies Jet Li cult classics? Classics.
Classics is maybe a bit of a stretch. They are certainly both Jet Li movies.
Cult films?
Yes. They're both pretty good. My Father Heroes maybe slightly, yeah, they're okay. I think there's other Jet Li joints that I would go to
Right.
probably before those, but they're both pretty good.
But the highlight for both of them is their chemistry together.
Yeah,
Especially in a new Legend of Shaolin, we had a little bit of Lone Wolf and Cub vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is all grown up now, and
Mhm.
for hysterical hilariosity purposes, I highly recommend you watch me and the Kung Fu genius himself, Alex Richter's review of our leading man in Yip Man: The Awakening. You will laugh. you will cry from laughing. Okay, you will enjoy that review, even if you love the movie. Still watch the review. You will have a lot of fun. Me and Alex come from different perspectives and views
I'm
of what we
guessing
like.
that the Kung Fu genius hated that movie.
the Wing Chun master, yes. But we did focus on what the positives were for the film.
Mhm.
But at the time, this is very important. At the
Mm.
time when we reviewed this movie, we reviewed it as if this movie got released in a whole bunch of theaters everywhere. We did not know that
It was
this
made for
was
streaming.
a straight to streaming, low budget, in and out fare.
Yeah.
So I didn't look at it that way, and I didn't review it that way. If I went back and to review it now with that in mind,
Mhm.
my rating might change Slightly. It'll change slightly.
Well, he had big shoes to fill as well in that part. I mean, it's very hard at this point for anyone else to play Ip Man and
I
you not
didn't.
think of Donnie.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have an issue with him at all.
Okay.
It was other parts of the movie we had issues with, and especially with the. Did you see the movie?
Yeah.
So did you know the end finale fight he had not with the jitsu guy,
Mm-hmm.
but the one before that where it was in front of the audience outside and everybody's watching and he's on top of the stage fighting the boxer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that fight choreography was stolen from Yip Man, the first one. They didn't even bother making up their own fight choreography for that scene.
Yeah, well, I think
So that's disappointing.
I think it's a Western director who made that movie. It's not certainly not the same director who did the movie we're looking at tonight, although it is the same actor.
Right. But yeah, I didn't have no issues with the lead. It was just other things. But oh, there we go. You got some. My father's a hero fan. Yes. But yeah, now eye for an eye, baby. Let's go. I saw the trailer for this and I was like, yes, I am in. I am sold. Brought to us by the almighty Well Go USA, baby. That's right. And you can watch it on the Hi-Ya channel.
If you're in the States.
I know. Hold on. I'm going to segue to you in a minute. But check the link below, guys. If you are in the States, click on the Hi-Ya link and you have a free trial and check it out for yourself. It is a phenomenal channel. Getting better. It's getting better. It keeps getting better and better. However, if you're in the UK, go ahead, Johnny.
I am jealous. It's my turn to be jealous of you, Samurai, because we do not get Hi-Ya, and I desperately wish that we do. It looks like an incredible channel, amazing selection of stuff. So if anybody is not in the States and can't access Hi-Ya and doesn't want to go down the VPN route, you can watch this on the service it was actually originally made for, which is a Chinese streaming site called iQIYI. And I think you can get a month subscription for 99 pence. If you're in the UK, it's about $1.30 maybe, which gives you full access to Eye for an Eye and a whole bunch of other movies. You can see other movies made by the same director, and their synopsises are laughably badly translated. So just for comparison, because we should do the synopsis before we jump too deep in, right?
Yes.
So Hi-Ya did a very succinct, good job. They've said a skilled blind fighter meets Ni Yan, a restaurant girl who is brutally killed. Wait a minute. Is she, though? Reluctantly drawn into a dark power struggle, he seeks justice and revenge whilst discovering his true identity. So Hi-Ya also, I think, maybe copied their synopsis across.
Yeah, because that's not what happened.
No, it is not. On the Chinese site, expands on that a little bit more, and they say the blind knife catcher, though my subtitles called him the ghost killer, but the blind knife catcher, Blind Cheng, who possesses great skills, meets Ni Yan, a restaurant girl who is brutally murdered and abused after, possibly, even though she's not murdered in the film. Despite not wanting to intervene initially, he was gradually involved in a huge power of the dark strife. Blind Cheng began to embark on the road to seek justice and revenge. Along the way, his true identity was also revealed. That's a very Chinese description.
Yeah.
Horribly translated into English. So it makes basically no sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think so. Putting aside what both sites have told us, the character he meets is not killed. Her family is killed. And he basically tries his best to keep her alive and get her out of bad situations and avenge her and avenge the fact that her family has been killed on her wedding day, no less.
Yes. Very well done. And that was hilarious. I'm glad you shared that botched version there.
On both sites.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. That's actually pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, it's not like this is a new concept.
No.
I'm a huge fan of the Zatoichi movies. The whole
same
box set. I mean,
that Criterion set is incredible.
Yeah, it's such a beloved character. Katsu's the man. And it's just so beloved. It's so nice. And just classic, iconic, will last forever. You know what I mean? But there's been so many other, like, thousands and hundreds of thousands of versions. Everybody doing their own thing. Even in Korea, we had the Swordsman, which is like their own, vision impaired badass movie, which I enjoyed.
I love that movie too. And I got to say, because I watched, you had on the wonderful Frank Jeng and Rick Myers talking about these movies before, your non-spoiler review. And I don't want to correct Kung Fu Santa, but I'm gonna have to correct Kung Fu Santa.
Okay.
I think because he said that he thought the choreography in The Swordsman was done by Kenji Danagaki. It is not.
No, it's a different guy.
That is not Kenji. I only know, I wouldn't normally flex this hard on something, but I got a chance to interview. I interviewed Kenji for my channel.
That is
I'm
awesome.
posting that pretty soon. He's the sweetest dude you can ever imagine. And I double checked with him. I was like, man, did you direct? Did you do the action choreography for The Swordsman? He was like, no, I know that movie. I love that movie. Totally not me.
See, the jealousy continues. Keep bragging, Johnny. All right, keep bragging. I interviewed Kenji and Mike Cascas. But that's awesome. No, I miss that because remember when I'm hosting, I'm multitasking. So I probably missed it when Rick said that. If you see me nod, that means I'm just nodding because I'm checking comments and I'm doing all this stuff. I'm like, yeah,
you're multitasking at the same time. Yeah.
But no, I'm glad you clarified that in case anyone thought that Kenji did do this. So
I can see why he thought it because it's very inspired by Kenji's work on Rurouni Kenshin,
right?
Which I think is a high bar that not that many films will get to. But The Swordsman came pretty close. It's really good. And I'm cut you off midstream, so you jump in. Keep on going. You go.
No. This is very another pleasant surprise. Again, the trailer, I was sold. I was sold on the trailer. But you know, I knew straight to streaming movie, small budget, short on time. You're in and out. You know, boom, boom, not long. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna view this movie that way instead of how I viewed Yip Man Awakening. I'm gonna view it the right way, how it's supposed to be viewed. If it's shit, it's shit. It doesn't matter. But I'm still gonna put my goggles, my old man goggles, and view it the correct way. And I think, again, lead actor's name, what is it?
That is Moitzi.
Moitzi. Did I say it right?
Well enough for me, brother.
Okay. I think Moitzi has found his character.
I would agree.
I think he's found it.
Yeah.
He's a great martial artist. I'm sure you put that guy in anything, he himself will be great. Despite the movie quality, he will be great.
Yeah.
But I think he's found his character. I want to see 5 more movies with this guy as this character.
Yeah.
10 more movies.
Right there with you. Hell yeah. Zatoichi length series of movies.
Yes. Cool. Yeah. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Because this dude, everybody watching right now, is a bad man. And what I love about this version of the Blind Swordsman is he's not Zatoichi. He's not the dancing, eating rice balls, fun loving until you push him. Until you push him, then you're fucked. He's not, the Messias. He's not that kind of guy. He's not the beloved character.
Nah,
he's a bounty hunter.
Yeah, man. He's the original Boba Fett.
I did. I absolutely love that fact that this badass blind swordsman he's got a horse too, which I love that.
Yeah, the
he's got his
own.
He's just dragging his horse around just so the horse can carry the body that he's taken, his bounty.
Yeah,
and it's just little things like him just dragging the bodies in the bag. The guy's still alive, but he's in the bag, and he's just walking, just dragging the bag right into the sheriff's office to get paid. Yeah, the fact that he's its own character. He's totally different. Than Zatoichi is what I love. It wasn't just a straight up carbon copy. He's a totally different character, and we even get a little brief flashback before he lost his eyesight and stuff like that. But he's just a badass with a heart of gold. He's out there making money. His female companion friend, they were soldiers together in the past. She kind of led him along. I don't know how many years she was kind of leading him along, saying, "Yeah, we're working on trying to get you a cure." Until he realized, okay, you just want to keep me around because you care about me. There is no cure. But man, his female companion friend, what happens to her? They gave her a Shaw Brothers death.
She did. She got Chang Chade, son.
Yes. I was like, Jesus, what is that, like 30 arrows in her? Yes. Oh my God.
I don't know if your subtitles were the same as the ones that I got to see on my version, but they took great pains to tell us every arrow went through a bone. And you're like, wow. Okay, great.
I think it was the same, yeah. But yeah, our main villain was a very good archer himself.
Yeah.
That was his shtick. But yeah, unfortunately, this actress right here. Did you want to say her name?
I'm not actually. I don't have a complete breakdown. She is. I think she's Guan Ying Chen, and if
Okay.
it's not Guan Ying Chen, then it's Hua Qilong.
Okay.
I think it's one of those two, but do not quote me because I only have the cast names. I don't have the
Right.
parts that they played.
But they need to update IMDb for this movie because there's really not a lot.
There's no page for it.
Even and when you click on the director, they need to
Yeah.
update his information too, because
Yeah.
only this movie pops up on IMDb. But yeah, she's trying to lead a happy life. She's getting married, and man, the villains show up. They end up killing her brother. I enjoyed this villain here with the hooks.
Yeah, man, he was pretty gnarly.
That fight scene between this character with the chain hooks and our lead badass here, that's one of my favorite fights in the movie, because this guy, he's a counter striker. He waits for you to attack, which he should, because it makes sense. He'll attack if he'll need to, but he waits for you. But this guy with the hooks was so fast,
and
that even he was having issues tracking him.
Yeah,
and then, like a straight up gangster, he pulls out the wine. The what was it? What do you call that thing they hold it in?
A gourd.
Yes, he pulls that out and then drinks it, and then waits for him to go by, and then spits on him. And so now when he moves around, there's like a slight particle effect that he notices, and then that's when he fucks him
could
up.
Smell too. Yeah.
Yes, that was phenomenal. You guys are going to love that fight. That's so good. He goes in there when he's trying to rescue our lead actress here. But yeah,
I think her character name's Ni Yan, so it's easiest if we just call her by her character name.
Yeah, Ni Yan. Yeah, whatever works at this point. But yeah, there was a heist setup that went wrong. The brother was a part of it with the villains. The shit hit the fan, and he ran away. So that's why they caught up with him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this was during his sister's wedding. They kill him, and they killed her, his sister's fiance. And yeah, it's not a good day for her. But the worst thing was the cops. The worst thing was the law. We're like, no, you need to change your story, not tell the truth. And she's like, I'm not going to do that. And then that's when they tried to force her to tell the truth. And then that's when our legend here shows up to kind of save the day. And then it just takes off to, it just goes to 11 after that. You know what I mean? It's been a while. What was the last time you saw a martial arts movie that had this much bone breaking in it? It's kind of been a while.
It's been a minute. I think probably I saw Sakura pretty recently, and we will kind of speak about that again. But it's a different sort of flavor.
Okay.
A different sort of energy and stuff.
Yeah.
But,
I still haven't seen it yet, but yeah. It's not.
Okay.
I'm hearing the plot's been done to death, but the fights are good.
Yeah. That's a very succinct summary.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think last time that there was kind of some really good kind of like bone breaks and locks, it's been a while. I kind of go back to some of the stuff that's in Fist of Legend. We mentioned Jet Li earlier on.
Yeah.
But that's still got some of the best little twists and locks and kind of arm blocks and stuff. But there was a proper bone breaking bones. He caught one guy quite early on and slaps his kind of forearm bone straight through the side of his arm, which was kind of cool to see.
Yeah. All you early, Steven Seagal fans in his prime, the first 5 movies, you'll probably enjoy this movie as well. But it's just like, just tons of bone breaking. It is not, it's not fun to fight our lead here. It is not fun. But yeah, it was nice to see that.
Yeah.
It was nice to see that. Again, kind of differing him from Zatoichi. Zatoichi would disarm if he needed to with his hands. Maybe crack a few joints, but not like to this level of extreme badassity of bone breaking.
No, I think kind of closer in some ways. When we mentioned the swordsman earlier on, and it's maybe Yang Huik in the swordsman was kind of putting people down pretty quickly too. He was kind of fairly brutal, but not that bone breaky. He was just more slashing people.
Yes, for sure. Oh, I forgot. I knew I was going to forget. Really quickly, back up to Extraction.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention this. Remember, I was like, I was going to segue to something else. Yeah. Like even it's an above average action movie. That's why I gave it a B+. And for that opening alone, I gave it an A-, just for that opening alone. Even though I had nitpicked with some things, but again, I still enjoyed it a lot. I still think it's one of the best action movies of the year. However, I kind of forgot about it after a couple of days later.
Yeah,
kind of forgot
it's
about
weird
it.
about Netflix amnesia.
Yeah,
It's a thing.
yeah. So it's funny you brought that up with the first movie.
It's weird, man, and it seems to just affect their own produced
Yeah.
movies because the stuff. I mean, Netflix also picked up. We mentioned Rurouni Kenshin, and I can remember every beat of those movies really, and they were not originally made for Netflix, but Netflix now own them. So I've stopped the last few coming out on physical media, but
Yeah,
different for projects that have kind of been made outside of their control. But there's a weird thing with their own projects. I can't work out the algorithm of why it happens, man. Maybe they do it on purpose. Maybe it's built into them, so you go back and watch it again.
But me and Johnny will be there for sure for Extraction 3 when that comes out. And we should review it.
And I'll forget it. Definitely we will. And we'll get it too.
We gotta review it right away though. Like,
yes.
We can't
Same
wait.
day.
Otherwise we're gonna forget. Hold on one second. Here we go. We got DLB saying, "Hi guys, I have been lucky enough to be at the Prince Charles Cinema in London this week to see Wong Kar-wai classics and Bruce Lee Chungking Express tomorrow." All right, that is awesome. I'm another person I'm jealous of right now.
We've been very
but
lucky.
Yes, but
most of Bruce Lee movies screening this year again for the 50th anniversary of his death. It's very cool to see.
Yeah, we got lucky over here. I think
you got Into the Dragon.
I think it was last month when Into the Dragon got re-released out here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was great seeing that in theater. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, remember this is straight to streaming, small budget movie. You're in and out. It's not long. Boom. Okay. So again, you know me. I'm greedy. So of course I want more action, more fights. And Johnny's like, "You're insane, Samurai Guy."
No, man, I'm right there with you. For this one, I'm right there with you. I could have had, if this was the length of Extraction 2, I would have been a happy man.
Yes. Especially when you had that really cool fight when he goes into like the little tea house. And then they cut away to a flashback of him. And they don't show the fight. I was like, but it's okay. Trust us. You trust me and Johnny. Trust me and Johnny, guys. What is here in this movie delivers. There's not one bad action sequence. No, there's not one
just
bad.
Not enough of them.
We just wanted more because we're greedy like that. But the finale definitely rewards the audience. It rewards the viewer. And for a small budget project, straight to streaming movie, dude, the cinematography is legit.
Amazing. Really stylistic. I mean, this was almost someone, DLB just mentioned that he'd seen Wong Kar-wai movies. This was almost, it's not quite as slick as the Grandmaster, but it's up there. This has kind of, there's shades of Wong Kar-wai level cinematography, and it's beautifully shot.
Impressive. Very impressive. And again, just absolutely gorgeous and beautiful camera work, man. Just, oh my God. Go ahead.
If we're nitpicking, tiny nitpick.
Go ahead.
Someone needs to maybe keep him away from some of the Final Cut or Adobe Premiere filters, and because there was a couple of little things that he put on clearly in post-production, little sort of flourishes or things or little effects or filters that he put over the top of some of the footage. It was like, man, you don't need that. We're already sold. We're already right in there. Just kind of a few less of those sort of tricks because they weren't helping too much, and they'll date it a little bit quickly, I think.
Right, and you have a little bit of CGI blood, a little bit CGI arrows, a little, but all this is forgivable when you have action that this movie has.
Yeah,
it's the little movie that could really, and if we get more of these kind of movie guys. We are good to go.
Like Extraction, this is getting a sequel too.
Yeah. I'm so excited for that too. But just beautiful looking cinema. Look at them right there. I mean, come on, let's go. How could you not want to see 10 more movies with this character? Oh man. And I love I wanted more of this, but him setting his sword on fire was so fucking dope.
Yeah.
Uses that wine. Sparks the little flame, little spark on his sword, and his sword's on fire, and he's cutting people down. Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's kind of funny. We're reviewing two movies
that our main hero got set on fire.
That's right. I just now noticed that. How funny is that? We had flaming fists for Extraction 2, and we had flaming swords in this one. How funny.
I'm all in for it. It was great. Really cool. And I'll even forgive the slightly bad sort of CG on the liquid before you set fire to it.
Yeah.
it's cool. They had no money. It's like that was
Yeah.
probably some guy in his bedroom working on After Effects
Dude,
doing that for him. You know?
That's what I'm saying. You can kind of forgive stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this
That scene
finale
was
is like,
cool too, man. Like,
oh, it's
the
great.
little kind of the wee banners, because I think they're normally, it's almost the same sort of writing that you sometimes see on those little yellow stickers that they stick on hopping vampires' heads in those movies. You know, it's that kind of type of Taoist or Taoist
Yeah.
scripture. I think my Chinese is not good enough to kind of deconstruct, but that
Yeah.
was cool and probably really cheap to make for a set, right? You just get some white sheets and a little bit of black paint.
Yeah.
It's great.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
Works. You know, and we always support independent films here on the channel. That's one thing that we always have done here. And it's kind of funny. And I might bring this up again later with Lady Fat Blood, but in a future video. But it's kind of funny. It's kind of like, we get a lot of questions recently, and like, requests like, where's the Flash review? Where's Indiana Jones and the Diarrhea of Destiny? Where's Transformers review? Where's and from what I've kind of been hearing, and because it's money and time, guys, money and time. You gotta have both. So we missed a lot of big budget AAA releases of films recently. We will get to them at some point. We will review them at some point. But from what I'm hearing, we kind of dodged a lot of bullets. From what I'm hearing, it's either bad or it's meh.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing from all of these big budget releases. Like some people are like, oh, it was fun, but it's not great. It's like, I don't have time to waste money on just fun.
Same, man.
We don't have that kind of money.
I'm buying too many of those crazily expensive premium Blu-rays.
I know.
Some of the tickets no more.
I know. And then the other day, me and my wife sat down, and I'm going to be doing a review probably tomorrow, guys. A big, beautiful Arrow Blu-ray box set, and it looks like a video rental store. And
cool.
Inside is all these cult classic sci-fi and horror movies are in there. And one of the movies, spoiler for tomorrow's review, was a sci-fi flick called Arena. It came out in 1989, and we watched it, and it warmed our hearts. The movie felt like a big hug. And we're sitting there, and you could tell it was low budget. They worked with what they had. It's basically a fighting tournament boxing movie, but with aliens. So you have guys in alien suits with really, actually pretty legit practical effects and makeup for such a small budget movie. And there's goofy moments, there's cheesy moments. With this movie, the cheese is the charm. And we sat there, and you can actually point out that there's faraway shots of the arena, and you could tell they're all little figures moving. when there's close-ups, you can tell of the fighting. You can look in the back where the actual crowd is, but if you look closely and look up, you'll see cardboard cutouts where they kind of fill in that there's an actual audience there. You could see, when we see stuff like that, we smile, and you can tell so much hard work went into this small budget sci-fi little fighting movie. And we enjoyed it, and we had so much fun with that. And I looked at Lady Fat Blood, my missus, the queen. I looked at her, and I was just like, we keep getting requests to review these meh big budget movies. But if we review, Arena, they're going to be like, dude, why are you reviewing this movie and not the Dial of Diarrhea or whatever the fuck the Indiana Jones movie's called? Why you? No one knows about this movie. This movie doesn't exist to the mainstream audience. No one's gonna watch this movie. Why are you guys reviewing this movie?
That's exactly why.
Why? Because it's entertaining. Why? Because it made us happy. I'd rather watch and review a movie with a very extremely small, low budget and be blown away like this film, or pleasantly surprised, or something that makes us appreciate filmmaking. And when you watch that low-budget sci-fi movie, Arena, and you could see all the tricks they tried to do with little money they had, and they tried to pull it off, and in some cases, they actually succeeded. I have so much more of an appreciation for cinema with this low-budget sci-fi movie than all these huge, big-budget, billion-dollar bloated CGI meh projects. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Yes.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yes.
Because they were trying to make a movie. They weren't trying to make a buck. And I think there's a big difference with what American stuff is doing, particularly with the Disney and the kind of big studio pictures. I think they've forgotten that somewhere underneath what they're doing, they need to actually make a good product, a good movie They're just trying to make money, and that's the only motivation. And
there it is.
it's sad, man. It's
Don't
really
care if the
sad.
CGI is bad. Fuck it. People will pay
They
to
don't
see it.
care.
Release in theater.
They don't care. Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
and that's what it's all about. Is having that connection with a film, appreciating it, all the hard work that went into it.
Mhm.
And that's what it's all about. And that stuff stays with me. That stuff makes me smile as a viewer, an audience member, a collector, if you will.
Mhm.
That's the kind of stuff. And I'll repeat all of this tomorrow when I review the box
I'll be
set.
right there for it. I haven't had a chance. I'm now jealous of you because that's one that I did have on my list, but I just haven't had the resources to pick up. But that box set looks great, and
have
to do.
I mean, I have
shout out to
screeners. I don't have the actual physical.
That's cool.
But I get to talk about the films and the special
Yeah,
features.
and
stuff.
I think for those people that are going to buy the big full box, all the artwork on that set has been done by a dude whose work I adore. He goes by Uncle Frank Productions on Instagram, but is an artist called Lanshidi.
Yeah,
really nice guy, incredible artist, and the work he's done for that set looks so cool.
Yeah,
Robot Jocks is on that set too, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that tomorrow. I can't wait. But yeah, and you know, Eye for an Eye falls into this category.
Yeah, scratch that itch.
Yes, scratch the action itch. You know, for sure. Yeah. And of course, me and Johnny, again, we're greedy. We want more fights, we want more action. But for what's in there, it was so well done. So I you know, again, I will be rating this movie in the actual genre it's representing, which is low budget, straight to streaming, short, you're in and you're out type of movie, martial arts genre. That genre is how I'm rating this movie. Not how are you rating? What are you giving the movie and the action for Eye for an Eye, John?
For me, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go for an A- for the story and an A+ for the action. Nice. In fact, actually, no. Other way around. A+ for the story, A- for the action.
Okay. All right. There you go. Nice. I love it. We're pretty much right there. Samurai Guy is giving the movie an A- and action I'm giving an A-. We're pretty much right there.
Yeah.
I would have given it again if there was more action. I would have given it an A or an A+ for sure.
I'm being generous with the story because, like, I think it's an amazing feat to pack in as much as they did into 75 minutes so succinctly, and they messed around with time a little bit, where it's kind of it does a Pulp Fiction or Quentin Tarantino-esque.
Right.
They break the structure, so it's not a traditional kind of first, second, third act. It kind of twists around a little bit, which I thought they did really, really well. And I kind of didn't see it coming when it jumped back. I was like, okay, we've come full circle. Right? And I thought the story was really pretty well done. Nothing revolutionary, but just really, really well staged, really well handled, and really well acted.
Oh man, I'm telling you, they nailed it. For what little they had to work with, they nailed it. But the beautiful camera work, the editing, it's just so nice to see it done right. We've been tortured for years by garbage, you know. So that's why, again, you know, in my humble opinion, action cinema and martial arts cinema is back.
Yeah,
the casuals are hungry. They're hungry. They want to see more.
Once you get around to watching Sakura, please have me back because I want to talk because
I haven't reviewed it yet. So
we're gonna because I'd be really interested to know what you think of it after seeing because you've seen this too, right?
Comparison
a little bit because like Sakura we mentioned Kenji earlier on. Sakura was Kenji Tanigaki doing most of the choreography, and there's certain sequences in that are amazing, like kind of A++, like kind of through the roof. Some of the best stuff I've seen Donnie do in most recent years. But the production, particularly the CG and the editing, really rushed. I think they inexplicably only had like 8 weeks to go from the point when they finished shooting to when it hit, when they brought the movie out. Man, and it feels a bit rushed.
Wow,
and
only 8 weeks? Yikes.
Yeah. And it's a massive novel that they tried to condense down into a kind of couple of hour movie.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we'll have you back on the channel. And we'll do that. Let's do that in another movie just for fun.
Yeah.
We'll discuss afterwards when we get offline, and we'll pick another movie to throw in there.
Oh yeah, so I'd love to know what you think of it.
But yes, I say the more the merrier. You know, Kenji and his team are so good and phenomenal. It's amazing. They kind of changed the game, but if Kenji can influence other teams and other filmmakers to do it just as good as him, or start something new and start something of their own, more the merrier.
Definitely, man.
The more the merrier.
Eye for an Eye had its own flavor. It was great.
Yes, and we know who the MVP is of the movie.
Oh,
yeah, he's getting the MVP award for sure. I believe again. I believe that he's finally found his character, and I can't wait to see the other one. As Rick Myers would say, I'm looking. I'm supposed to say I'm looking forward to to the next one. But
check and see. Haya might well have the other movie that the same director and same actor made together is called Fight Against Evil. So do check that out. Very, very different. And I think this is just going to reinforce your feeling that he's found his right part in Eye for an Eye. But Fight Against Evil is more. I think it will. Sorry, Adam's asking, will Eye for an Eye get a release on physical media?
I wouldn't be surprised because it's a Haya original and it's Wellgo USA.
Yeah.
So most likely there'll be a Blu-ray, and
I hope so.
Samurai Guy gonna get a copy.
I'm right there too.
I'm gonna get a copy. So
Fight Against Evil, more of a modern crime story.
Okay.
And it's pretty good. It's not bad. Again, low budget. They do a lot with a little.
Yeah. All right. Copy that. Yeah. I'll look into it for sure. See some more awesome work there. Kevin says, I think we could be hopefully on a new resurgence of this genre. It seems to be getting better and better. Yes. Yes. And another reason why I wanted to do these two movies, not just because they're recent, but I just wanted to show an example of, hey, in big movie theaters, we have John Wick Chapter 4 doing well. Sisu did well. Another little movie that could. Sisu did well, right? And then straight to streaming, big budget movies like Extraction is doing well, kicking ass, taking names. And then you have the smaller budgeted movies straight to streaming doing it.
Entire budget for Eye for an Eye was probably less than Hemsworth's wage for Extraction 2.
This movie probably cost as a whole what it cost to feed Chris Hemsworth while filming Extraction 2.
It says protein bar allowance for Extraction.
Yeah. So again, these are good. These are great examples, which is another reason why I wanted to talk about these two movies. And we'll get it. Me and John, and I'm sure everybody watching, you guys, we'll all get it where we can get it. God damn it. Straight to low budget streaming, other streaming services, big budget movie releases. If it delivers with the action and it's worth watching and it's exciting, we will be there.
Hell yeah.
For sure. Yeah. But yeah, man, this was a blast. Yeah. Raging Fire. Yeah, that was another great movie too. We reviewed that.
R.I.P. Benny Chan.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But yeah, this was fun, brother. I'm glad I was able to reach out and connect to you, and you were free to do this today. We will be doing a lot more Movie Dojo episodes for sure. And if we can't do two movies, sometimes doing more than one movie is a lot. We could do one movie. It's fine.
Well, we can do two. We can do two.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. But this was a blast having you here. Hey, everybody watching, y'all know what you need to do. Hey, check the links down below. That's right. Follow the Fanatical Dragon, baby. That's right. Follow him on Instagram. Follow him on the YouTubers. Subscribe. That's right. His channel is on the rise, and Samurai Guy enjoys hanging out there and drooling at all the stuff I'll never have. Damn you, Johnny!
You did pretty good though, man. You have buy less figures. You can buy more discs, but you got some figures to die for behind there.
These figures I've had for years, so they're old. They're like really old. But no, make sure you guys subscribe to Johnny. And hey, if you're new here, hey, you guys are fucking awesome. Thanks for hanging out with your boy Preston Samurai Guy, and subscribe to me. That's right. Share the video, like it. We want to spread the word of badassity. That's right. And don't go anywhere, Johnny, but I'll see you guys on the next one. Don't forget, live Q&A tomorrow. I'll be reviewing those Arrow Blu-rays. You'll see it scheduled. So come hang out with me tomorrow. We'll have some fun. 8 p.m. Pacific time, most likely be tomorrow. But yeah, I'll see you guys there tomorrow. And take care, guys.
Peace.